Well, hi class. I finally finished grading all the informative speeches last Friday, and I'd like to say by and large, you did a pretty good job on that assignment. In fact, there were some really good informative presentations, and one of the cool things about my job, I get to learn something. And so just watching all the informative speeches, I learned a lot as a result of the information that you presented. I also thought the presentations were pretty solid. A lot of you have already got the eye contact dialed in, and a few of you still need to get that dialed in. So when you're giving your presentation, your focus is on the camera. You want to create that impression that you're talking to the viewers directly, that you're talking to the viewers in real time. And the better you create that impression, the easier it is for you to engage an audience, especially when you're speaking remotely. So lots of good things as a result of the informative presentation. And now you just want to take that practice and experience and now apply it to the next speech, which is the persuasive speech assignment. And that's what you are working on now. In fact, most of you already have your topics turned in and approved. So you're hard at work putting those outlines together. And so today, what I really want to focus on is, first of all, the final deadline for turning in any work for this class is tomorrow. No, I'm just kidding. Is Friday, December 17th. So circle that on the calendar. That's the last day that I will take any assignments for this class all the way up to 11:59 on Friday, December 17th. I got to turn my grades in next week, so that gives me the weekend and a couple days just to get everything tallied up so I can get my grades submitted in a timely manner. So into the semester, last day to turn stuff in, December 17th. And some of you still a little bit behind. You want to make sure that you start catching up so you get all your work turned in. And if your goal is to get an A in the class, here's what you need to do. Need to make sure that you've submitted all of your assignments by the 17th and that you've received a complete on all of the assignments. And along with that, I really want you to focus your attention on doing your very best on the persuasive speaking assignment. That's what you're working on right now. Because we don't have a final exam, I treat that final persuasive speech, in essence, as your final exam for the class. You'll still have another speech you'll do after the persuasive speech, but that's just a simple little farewell speech, not that involved. You don't even have to turn in an outline. So really, this persuasive speech is, in essence, your final exam for the class where you get to demonstrate all that you've learned about public speaking. To be even more specific, if you want to get an A in the class, not only do you have to have all of your work turned in by the 17th and you have received a complete on all of your work that you've submitted, with the persuasive speech, you want to make sure that when you submit your outline, you have 4 source citations properly inserted into the text of the outline. So your source citations have to be incorporated into the outline properly and correctly, and your source citations need to be complete with either the name of the publication, that's the name of the book, the newspaper, the magazine, the journal, or the name of the website, and you have authors and dates for all of your source citations. So you want to get an A in the class for the semester. You've got to make sure that when you submit your outline for the persuasive speech, the outline is formatted correctly, so it looks just like one of the sample outlines, and you have your 4 source citations inserted properly into the outline, and you should know where they go at this point in the semester. 1 in the significance in the introduction, and at least 1 source citation properly inserted into each of the 3 main points. Also, if you want to get an A in the class, when you deliver your persuasive speech in the presentation, you've got to demonstrate that you know how to effectively and efficiently practice your speech. The way I can tell that you've practiced your speech really is based on the quality of your eye contact, i.e., the longer your eyes are on the camera and not on your notes, the more you're telling me of the time that you put into preparing and practicing the speech. And if you need to review how to practice and prepare effectively, just go back to the week 6 module. In fact, that's a good idea before the presentation of the persuasive speech. Go back to that week 6 module on the delivery and look at how to effectively practice the delivery of a speech. And most important of all, you want to look at those techniques for practicing your speech effectively, which is that repetition is the key to retention. So you want to do really well on that final persuasive speech. Make sure that you read that speech out loud from your outline a minimum of 20 times. And you should be able to do that, right? You have a week, in fact, a little bit more because of the Thanksgiving break. You have over a week between submitting that outline and practicing the speech. And so if you just practice your speech 3 to 4 times every day, just by reading it out loud and focusing on a different delivery technique, you should easily have your speech down well enough so that you can look into the camera at least 70% of the time. So you want to get an A in the class in that persuasive speech. I want to see eyes on the camera now more than they're on the actual outline. And so if your eye contact is at 70% or better, that clearly shows the effort that you put into practicing and preparing your speech. And so that just means you can get through 2 to 3 lines at a time before you have to glance down, see the next couple lines, and deliver those. So you want to get an A in the class. Make sure on the persuasive speaking assignment that your outline is formatted correctly, source citations are inserted properly, and then in the presentation, eye contact on the camera at least 70% of the time. You do that, you're setting yourself up to get an A in the class. And then the last thing that you also want to try to demonstrate in that presentation of your persuasive speech, as much as possible, show that in that presentation, you're also meeting the 3 goals that you established for yourself at the start of the semester. So now is probably a good time to go back and review those goals and make sure that you're doing everything you can to show that you've accomplished those goals in that presentation of the persuasive speech. You do that, you're going to do really well at the end of the semester in terms of your final grade. All right? Keep working hard on those persuasive speeches. Let's get those outlines in as soon as possible. The sooner you get the outline in, the more time you have to work on the practice and the preparation of your delivery for that persuasive speech. If you have any specific questions at all, be sure to hit me up. I'm here to help. Let me see your best work on the upcoming persuasive speech. Have a good week, you guys. Keep working hard.